Awards have been given out for many centuries. Back in ancient Rome, awards were given out to the most elite and would be given out in such ways of arches, columns, and statues. Nowadays, awards are given out within the school system for students to recognize their hard work and well-being. For example, students would receive sashes, trophies, sometimes money even, and would also could be little things such as treats and little certificates. Although awards are something that is within the school system and a tradition, really, it's not anything that's beneficial for students' well-being and actual learning process because of awards, students are not experiencing that positive traits, that intrinsic motivation that students could have in a school system, in a classroom. Instead, students are experiencing and being taken in the habit of feeling extrinsically motivated, and which holds a lot of negative traits. Not only that, but awards also push students to feel more, or could feel more, have less confidence and have more of the negative emotions after not receiving the awards that they always wanted. The first reason to why awards are not beneficial is because students would not feel that intrinsic motivation that holds a lot of the positive traits that a student should have in a classroom. According to Alfie Kahn, a American lecturer and author specializing in parenting, human behavior, and education, has said that students who are driven by awards are less likely to feel and to explore ideas and think creatively and take chances. So students who are intrinsically motivated, they're able to feel and have those positive traits compared to students who are extrinsically motivated. Students who are intrinsically motivated, they're able to genuinely enjoy that learning process, and are not doing schoolwork just to get the award. On the other hand, when we talk about extrinsically being motivated, students who are driven by awards and are taught that they should continue school because they will get that award, those students are not receiving the positive traits. Instead, they're being pushed and inhabiting that negative traits from the extrinsic motivation that they have. Students who are driven by awards would lose those positive emotions, and would then continue to work hard just to get the awards, which is not ideal for a school system and for students. Not even that, but in addition to that, Vanessa LeBoux, a writer of Motivating Children with the Awards, have added that awards for doing well in school only reinforces extrinsic motivation for learning and hinders the enthusiasm for its inherent value. That concludes the point that if students are extrinsically motivated, they won't genuinely enjoy the learning process, which all teacher and staff wants and parents want for their child and students. They want them to genuinely understand the schoolwork that's taught for the students. When students are being pushed and taught that awards are what they're supposed to be doing, they will lose that process, which is something that's really valuable for students in a classroom system. Not only that, but students can also lose. Not only does motivation and positive traits is what students are not experiencing from awards. Students who are being driven by awards can also have more negative emotions because of the lesson that they aren't taught. So awards are not beneficial in the way that they would push more negative emotions, such as if a student who does not receive the award that they always wanted, they would become less confident and have more negative emotions because they always want that award. So their confidence will be lessened, and that student will experience a lot more emotions that bitter emotions that they don't want. So what I mean by this is, one thing I mean by this is awards. Since awards are physical praises that assure students and recognize the students, when they're not taught that there's a value or lesson behind a failure that's supposed to be bad, they won't know how to react, and therefore would not understand that actually failing or not receiving the award is okay, and that they could learn from that and take it to make it another approach. And so without being pushed and being taught that awards are not bad to not receive, it's okay. So from that on, awards are not something that's beneficial for them, because of students are experiencing a lot of unwanted and bitter emotions, not only emotions that they don't want to experience. So after not receiving the award, they won't have that bitter emotions. In conclusion, awards are not something that is needed and are not beneficial for students because of those three purposes. Students are not experiencing the positive traits that comes from intrinsically being motivated, but instead are experiencing the negative traits from the extrinsic motivation that they would have after receiving those countless awards. In addition to the motivation and traits that was added, students can also lose that confidence and would receive a lot more negative emotions from awards instead of those positive emotions from intrinsic motivation. Many school systems have already made the changes. Instead of being awarded for their recognition, students would be put on talent show to showcase their personal talent, and would receive recognition for that instead. And all, students should not be motivated to just do well in school because of an award. They should be genuinely taught and learn how to really process the learning education that they're receiving from the classroom, and take that into their life instead, and learning the actual value of failing is that it's okay. Thank you, and these are my note cards.